Hi guys, Louis in the UK. Defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. I don't normally go live this late. I'm going to wait for you guys to latch on. Let's see if anyone joins us. It's quite a late one for me. Normally I'm half asleep. I've got a bit of energy tonight. Let's tell a few people. It is 10 p.m. in England. So I'm guessing you guys over in America, it's around 5. So who can I tell? I'll just tell anyone. Hi. Doing a bit of a late one tonight. I never come on this late. Hi, Deborah. Did you get my message? I thought something come up and I thought, oh, I need to get on and tell you guys. I hope you're okay, Deborah. 4:03 p.m. Yes, I did sort of chuck a few reminders on. I know some of you don't get the reminders. Now, I haven't got loads of you on, but a few. I'll tell. So, how is everyone? Right, I've got an interesting video. I want to just give people a chance to join us. Right, it is 10:03 p.m. You're welcome, Deborah. And I'm going to play a couple of videos. So I want a few people to join us first. Now we've done a few lives today. We've been quite busy today. Deborah? Did you catch the last live? The last live. What was the last live about? I read my little book. All right, is that the latest? Is it Navarrone's going to write a book? Just like Priscilla. I read this on the last live. I don't know if you caught that one. You were driving. Where were you going, Deborah? Right, let me just have a look a minute. To the store. What's the local store called where you live, Deborah? Is it like a supermarket? We have like Morrison's, Tesco, Sainsbury's. That's what we have here. I'm just checking to see if the video that I want to show is uploaded. I'm sure it has. A Walmart, right? You have Walmart. We don't have. Do you know what? We don't have Walmart in England. Isn't that crazy? You'd think you would definitely have Walmart in England. Now I've got two pretty good videos to play, guys. Both about 10 to 15 minutes long. So I don't really want to start playing them yet until a few more have latched on. What should I do whilst you would think you would have a Canada was that a Canada dies? You would think you would. Aldi and Walmart, you would think you'd have what's a Canada dies? What is that? You said, all right, good. That's good. Let's just give people a chance to get on. What can I do whilst we're waiting? But the thing is, both these videos are important. I don't want to play them until there's a few more people watching. Let me just go back to the Defending Elvis Presley. Live now. Let's really remind people, shall we? And then I'll go on to the chat. I've actually been I've been on the chat. I've been reading the chat for a while today. It gets, I mean, that chat, it's quite interesting, isn't it, Deborah? I know that in the middle of the night you're still on there, but it gets very heated, doesn't it? Don't you think that chat gets very interesting? I would say, to say the least. Right. Okay. I think. So what did we do this morning? We did. Let me just have a little look at the chats we did this morning. I'm just holding off, guys, because I want to get a few of you more on. So it's defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. The topic today is we're catching Priscilla lying to Piers Morgan. We've also got a very interesting video to do with Lisa Marie and Michael Edwards and Priscilla. So we've got two quite interesting videos. Yeah, Jane, I'm on. This is much later than normal for me. I've come across two videos and I want to share them. Hi, Natalie. I want to share these videos. I want to play them to you, and then I'm going to step in and comment. Now, do any of you guys remember we had the tarot card lady? Let me just get her. Right. Let me just show her a minute. Do any of you remember Priscilla? Right. The title of that particular video is Priscilla Presley Lied to Piers Morgan. So you've got Lisa's memoir is a smoking gun. The name of the YouTube channel is Angie's Tea and Tarot. Please subscribe to this. This channel is excellent. When we first spoke about this channel, she had about 174 subscribers. She's already up to 281. So guys, let's help this lady increase her subscribers, because this lady's channel is excellent. Right, let me just, what is that on the TV? Let me just get that. I'm supposed to be on Elvis. Right, let's have a look. Let's try and get Elvis on the TV. We like Elvis concerts. Right, hang on. Sorry, can you see the TV yet? I'm blind as a bat, guys. Okay, we like Elvis in the background. Elvis in the background, please. Okay, so there's two main topics, guys. We're going to talk about the Piers Morgan interview. We're going to talk about Priscilla. We're going to talk about, in our opinion, Priscilla lying. Gio, this is now. This is now. I'm on. This is much later than normal for me, but I come across these two videos. I have to play them both to you guys. So Angie's Tea and Tarot. Angie's Tea and Tarot. She did a brilliant video the other day, and I want to play this because she is like a mind reader. So what I want to do is I want to play this for you guys. Then I've got another video that is also very good from a different YouTube channel, and I'm reviewing these videos. So I think YouTube do allow me to use other videos. Hi, Elvis Forever. They do allow me to use other videos. So as long as I'm reviewing them. Now, people are welcome to use my videos. I just want to say to any other YouTube channel, you're very, very welcome to use my videos. Yeah. So let's just get on with it, shall we? Now, remember, I have very strong views about the Piers Morgan Priscilla interview. I thought the whole thing was a sham. We were having a Gio. We were having a joke about it, weren't we? Gio, do you remember? We were having a joke about how ridiculously soppy the Piers Morgan interview was with Priscilla that was recorded not that long after Lisa Marie had died, God rest her soul, and also not that long after Sofia Coppola's film had been released. Now, you know, guys, in my opinion, the Priscilla film should never have been made. I know, Gio. The Priscilla film by Sofia Coppola should never have been made. And why Sofia Coppola decided to make a film based on a book of lies, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, I'll never understand. I will never understand why a famous filmmaker like Sofia Coppola would make a film about Elvis just after Baz Luhrmann's film, which was excellent and highly acclaimed, yeah, with Austin Butler, who was excellent. And then Sofia Coppola comes along with a half-hearted effort and uses this book as the storyline for the film Priscilla. It doesn't make any sense. It's one of the worst business ideas ever. And then relies on Priscilla Presley to promote that film even just after her poor daughter Lisa Marie had died. You got Priscilla Presley promoting a film that her own daughter Lisa Marie did not want made. Her own daughter had written to Sofia Coppola, I think as many as 3 times on an email, asking her not to make this film, that it portrayed her father in a bad light. And I think behind the scenes was begging, Lisa was begging Priscilla to not be involved with this film, to not promote this film. We've also heard from Bridget Cruz, the auctioneer, when she joined us on our live streams, that there's a possibility that Barry Siegel brokered this film to Sofia Coppola. Barry Siegel is the person that went to Sofia Coppola to make this Priscilla film. Now, of course, we have strong views that Priscilla, it was extremely important to her to get this film made, Priscilla, the film Priscilla, because finally Priscilla is the star, the center of attraction, the main, how can I say it? Everything revolves around Priscilla. And isn't that what Priscilla Presley has always wanted? Hasn't Priscilla Presley always wanted to be the star, the center of attention, the new Elvis? The new Elvis, yeah? And finally it was happening. She couldn't believe it. Not only were they making a film based on Priscilla, but they also were going to use her book from 1985, which you guys know that I think this is a pack of lies. And almost everything in this book, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, is not true. Priscilla used this book to rewrite history. Yeah? Elvis had no involvement in this book. Priscilla was a divorcee, an unfaithful divorcee that had robbed Elvis blind in a divorce settlement, was never his widow, had given up the name Presley, yeah, and then was given the opportunity to write this book, which made her millions. This was a bestseller around the world, and the whole world have used this book, this narrative, as history, fact. This book has been treated like history and fact for 39 years. Yeah. Every interviewer in every country around the world used this book like it actually happened. To the word. Every word in this book is classed as truth. When we know, as Elvis fans, this is bullshit. Bullshit. Not worth the paper it's written on, in our opinion. So anyway, you get the drift. And I honestly do believe that when Priscilla had the Piers Morgan interview, many of the things said in that interview were lies, I also feel that Piers Morgan did not do his research. He just jumped into that interview without any preparation. He didn't know all the facts. Many of the questioning that he gave Priscilla was just bad information. Yeah, fake news. Priscilla used the Piers Morgan interview to try and brainwash and twist the truth to the public. Yeah? I personally think Priscilla thinks the public are a bit stupid and just fell for it and lied many times in that interview, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. So let's listen to this interview. Now, I'm a massive believer that Piers Morgan needs to go back and redo that interview, a part 2, but this time, Piers Morgan, if you're watching this program, do your homework. Do your homework, do the interview properly. Hi, Angel Eyes. Hi, Mike. Hi, Teresa. We've got 2 important videos to play tonight. I think you're going to enjoy them. So I may cut in and try and review as we go, but I might not have to, because this woman speaks for herself. Her video channel, Angie's Tea and Tarot. Please subscribe to it. Let me show you it. Please subscribe to this channel. It is excellent. Angie's Tea and Tarot. And this is the lady here. Right. She's surprisingly good. Right. Let's go.
Good morning. It's Angie. Welcome to my channel. So I'm just going to get right into it because I'm going to a little bit of the contents of this book because it's all over the internet. So thank you for subscribing. So one of the biggest, for me, the root of all evil is the female narcissist or the narcissistic mother. Okay, so let's just get that out there. Now, Riley Kehoe, for those that maybe don't know, she finished off Lisa Marie Presley's memoir. Okay, so this is Lisa Marie's spoken word verbatim, which is exactly, she took what her mother spoke, taped. And
so this woman, just so you know.
Now I'm just going to have to get right into this.
The thing I like about this woman is she spots a blatant lie. So it's important you listen for that.
Guys. Piers Morgan has an interview with Priscilla Presley after Lisa Marie Presley died. I don't know how old the video is, probably within the last year. I can't even remember. But anyways, there's a video out there, a interview where Piers Morgan is interviewing Priscilla Presley. Now, I always speak about the smoking gun, which is the undeniable piece of evidence. I'm just going to get right into it. So there is a chapter in here. It could be chapter 5. I think it's called, it's the chapter where Lisa is describing what happened on the day that Elvis Presley died. She goes into a lot of detail. She even, she goes into so much detail that she remembers. She's describing the bathroom, how the bathroom looked at that time. She describes how he looked. He was on the floor. She goes insofar as to describe, she recalls that he had socks on. I can't remember, probably dark socks. I don't know, but that's so much, how much she goes into detail about this. She recalls, because he didn't have a heart, he didn't die in the bathroom because I think, they tried to work on him. She even recalls the howling of Vernon Presley after he got that dreadful phone call that Elvis Presley had died.
So this, she's quite descriptive, this lady, what she mentions that when Vernon obviously found Elvis dead, the howling, and that this sound stayed with Lisa Marie for the whole of her life. And I'm pretty sure that it's clearly described in the book, From Here to the Great Unknown, and we can all imagine that image, can't we? Let's keep listening, guys.
That howling of her hearing Vernon express his grief haunted her for the rest of her life. Now, fast forward, and this particular Lisa Marie did spend a significant amount of time in distress after that whole event happened. Now, so fast forward to me, I'm watching Priscilla Presley interview last night. So I'm listening to it, and Piers Morgan asks Priscilla Presley, because now we're going to talk about the time she found out when Elvis Presley died. So he asked her, how did you tell Lisa? So she's saying that she told her that we're going to go to Graceland because you're going to go see Daddy, because it's going to look like he's sleeping. So I paused this, and my husband's not finished this book. So I said, babe, where are you in this book? I said, did you get to the death scene? And he said, yes. I said, okay, can you come and watch this video with me? I said, because you're going to hear something that is totally contradictory to what Lisa Marie says. 1,000% contradictory. She says to Piers Morgan that she was the one that told Lisa that her father had died. 100% a lie. This is where my mind goes to, why July, right? Why are you lying about this? Why are you lying about one of the most significant events in your life
Good
and
question,
Lisa's
guys.
life, right? Why would you lie about that? That's where my mind goes to. And then I ask myself, so then Lisa describes about being on the staircase and watching everybody go by to her father's casket, sitting alone on that staircase. That bothers me a lot because I think to myself, where's the mother? Where is the mother in all of this, right? And then on that Piers Morgan interview, it's almost like, and then she again lies because it felt to me like she almost caught herself in a lie, but I don't know if Piers Morgan would pick up on that now. But she ends up saying a little bit further on in the interview that I had to go and pick up Lisa because she was at Graceland and school was starting in Los Angeles because it was August 16th, 1977 that Elvis Presley died. So that is the smoking gun that I have. That's all I needed because I think it would be a grave mistake. It would be a horrendous mistake. My prediction, if Riley Kehoe buries Priscilla Presley in Graceland. She does not belong in Graceland. She never loved Elvis Presley. I believe that she was baited by her father at a young age because her father was in the army at the same time.
Let's just pause that a second. She's going to start talking about Priscilla's parents and obviously the child bride version of events. She mentions it a bit here. And Deborah was saying something interesting to me at the beginning of this chat. Is it true that Navarone now has announced that he's writing a book? Does anyone know? Is Navarone writing a book? Let's keep going.
I believe that she was baited by her father at a young age because her father was in the army at the same time. They already knew Elvis Presley was a rising star by the time he went into the army. I believe this was all staged. There's a part in this book as well where Lisa says that her mother never wanted her. Her mother wanted to, I think she wanted to fall off a horse. She never wanted children. Priscilla Presley has been nothing but an opportunist her whole life regarding the Elvis Presley estate. Yes, she did save Graceland, apparently, but for me now, everything is questionable because that to me is the ultimate.
I have to jump in there. She did not save Graceland. I think together with Amy Collett, one of our researchers, our main researcher, we've all proved, even with documentation, that Priscilla did not save Graceland. It was not Priscilla's idea to open the Living Museum. We've even found plans, because of Amy Collett, that show that the Memphis were already arranging, negotiating different deals to open and save Graceland. Graceland was never going to get sold off, ever. Let's keep going.
Ultimate undeniable piece of evidence. I don't know if anybody else is going to catch that, most likely, but if you haven't read the book, I'd suggest you read the books, pay attention to that particular chapter. I think it's chapter 5, but I don't know. And then follow up with that interview with Piers Morgan, the interview where Priscilla Presley lies. That's not a small little lie that I don't want to go to work today or something like that. That's a massive lie,
guys.
And it completely obliterates any thought that I've ever had nice about Priscilla Presley. I don't understand. Why would you? She came out with a memoir, I think right away, like after everything that she said in that memoir. I don't believe. I don't believe any of this anymore.
I'll jump in there. Now, remember, the memoir she's talking about is the 1985 book, Elvis and Me. Don't forget, there was also a melodrama in 1988 based on this book, and the Priscilla film with Sofia Coppola based on this book. This lady has just said she doesn't believe a word of it. And I have been saying for months now that every single word in this book may not be true. Every single word. A book that Elvis had zero involvement in. Elvis had no involvement in this book. This book written 7 years after Elvis died by a divorcee that was extremely cruel to Elvis. Extremely cruel. But let's carry on.
It is absolutely 100% Lisa Marie Presley. So the lyric this morning is Round and Round by Frozen Ghost. There's a frozen ghost. That place will become haunted if Priscilla Presley is there. Absolutely 100%. Because she does not have good intentions. She never did have good intentions. So we'll see what card comes up today. I'm thinking about this interview that she's doing with Piers Morgan, because she would be talking about Lisa Marie's death and the grandson's death. She was more interested in shut the camera off. I expected her to have boxes of Kleenex around there. She attempted to shed a tear. Hardly no tears. Quite a frozen ghost. Quite a cold, disgusting female narcissist. No wonder Lisa Marie. Yes, she was a little bit of a wild child, but one of the dangerous the female narcissist is the jealousy that the mother has for the daughter, right? And that never ends. So I often speak about the elephant in the shoes become.
So she doesn't mess about, does she? She doesn't mince her words. Jealous of her own daughter. Almost couldn't shed a tear for her poor Lisa Marie on the Piers Morgan show. Now, to me, the whole point of the Piers Morgan show was very similar to why, in my opinion, Priscilla, how can I say it? I think forcibly put herself in the room with Riley Keough at the Memphis book signing in Gracelands. Yeah, it was all about getting attention onto her so she can try and turn public opinion to try and reduce the amount of damage done to Priscilla's reputation by this book, because Lisa Marie had bothered, that's the wrong way of putting it, because Lisa Marie had put all this time into those tapes, audio tapes, to expose the truth, the wrongdoing of Priscilla and Michael Edwards, in my opinion. Yeah, alleged allegations against Michael Edwards. Priscilla was in the Riley Keough book signing show at Gracelands to try and change public's opinion, which is why she spent 20 minutes basically putting down Lisa Marie Presley. We all know this now, don't we? She used it as an opportunity to belittle her own daughter in front. Now remember, Lisa Marie is Riley Keough's mother, and she used her time, a bit of spotlight, in front of that large audience in Graceland at the book signing event to make her daughter look bad, to call her a druggie, an alkie, a woman that chases after boys, a young girl chasing after boys that was extremely difficult and that she struggled through. That's what Priscilla did. And this also happened at the Piers Morgan interview. Priscilla used it as an opportunity to make herself look like the victim. Priscilla has always played the victim. Poor me, poor me. I was a prisoner in Graceland. My life was so difficult. Oh my God, I couldn't even do my own hair and makeup. It's always been twisted as if going to Graceland was this horrific nightmare that happened to her, that she had been forced to travel to Graceland and live with Elvis in that amazing world that he was part of, the world that she couldn't wait to get there and be part of. But now, in hindsight, talks about it like it was a prison. But then the weird twist is she constantly says that he's the love of her life and she wants to be buried next to him. None of it makes sense. The public are starting to wake up to the lies. There are too many lies, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. Yeah? So I'll play a little bit more of this, then we're going to play the other video.
The elephant in the tomb. Well, not the elephant. Yeah, the elephant's shoes is what Lisa Marie grew. It was a pair of balls, as she calls it. And she did one of those David Letterman interviews. And then, so I speak about the elephant in the tomb because, yeah, the great unknown. Death doesn't absolve anybody. And Lisa Marie Presley, I hope to hell wherever you are that you know that your mother, she knew what her mother was. So thank you for being here. Disgusting. I don't want to say the words that I'm hearing. But anyways.
And I'll tell you what, Lisa Marie does know what her mother was like, does know. And that is why she made sure that a certain section of her tapes that she recorded for Riley Q clearly detailed the wrongdoing that happened to Lisa whilst on the watch of Priscilla. Michael Edwards, these allegations, and Priscilla made Lisa feel unloved, unwanted. Yeah. She wanted this out. Lisa Marie wanted this out. I know there's good bits in this book that talk about how they went through good times. I know that. But no. Lisa wanted the world to know, the fans to know the negative stuff about Priscilla and Michael Edwards and other people. So I'll play a little bit more, then we're going to go on to the other video, which I think you're going to find very interesting.
Yeah, I'm hearing the words that Lisa Marie was called. Lisa Marie was called a lot of derogatory terms by Priscilla Presley. I'm not going to mention them, any of them here. So we'll see what card comes up. Holy moly. Yeah, hers is the law. That is exactly, this is a female narcissist. It would be hers is the law. Okay, I spoke about this card, has come up many times. This is the one that slip out the back, Jack. Yeah, she had multiple affairs. She had an affair on her husband too, got pregnant by her boss, just randomly showed up pregnant to work one day, and never wanted children, never wanted children. But this is the, this person has no heart. Hers is the law. That's all I'm going to say about that. Is with any female narcissist, hers is the law. Very, very difficult. I'm going to swing back to Lisa Marie Presley. She put Lisa Marie Presley in one of the most dangerous religions out there, is the Church of Scientology, right? Warped her mind thinking, absolutely warped her. She didn't know. And there's something with Danny here. There's something with Danny Kehoe here that I've been picking up all night. And I know when I remembered, when I have an undeniable piece of evidence, because I'm looking at my father here. There's one photo of my father where he's with, would be his, I guess I could call his mother-in-law, which is my grandmother. But there's my grandmother in the middle, and my father and my grandfather, who I never knew. But my grandmother, I looked at the body language. My grandmother was turned in towards my dad. Almost, because my dad was a very, very handsome man, almost like turned into him, like as if she was coupled with him. It is not uncommon for a narcissistic mother to be attracted to the daughter's husband. I just feel that there's something there. I was thinking about this all night. So, but hers is the law, is the card that broke up. How did this person affect me? This person I met when I took my law course. I took a law clerk course. She was the one that taught me.
Okay, guys. Right. So anyway, she's doing the tarot card thing there. But just this woman, she has an amazing insight into things. She really does. So, guys, I'll give you her. It's Angie's Tea and Tarot. I know not everyone's into the tarot cards, but I still think just amazing, almost like a mind reader. I'm impressed. Now, this next video could be a little bit upsetting for you guys. I'm going to play this video. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to have to go. But this could be difficult watching. I found it on YouTube. Let's have a look. It's to do with Michael Edwards and the sexual abuse allegations. It's somebody else who's been reading the book From Here to the Great Unknown. He's pieced it together. It's a brilliant video. Someone's put a lot of work into it. I'm just going to see if I can find the name of the YouTube channel. I do like to give the name. If I use a video, I do like to help promote the YouTuber. I don't know if I've got it. I'm just checking now. But guys, hold your breath because you're going to like this. This is good. Right, I think it's called Celebify, I think.
Imagine for a moment that...
Right, let me just pause it. The video is by Celebify. Now, Celebify, I did tell them that I'm going to use this. So hopefully, please subscribe to this, Celebify. Lisa Marie's memoir finally exposes how her stepfather, should we just see what the rest of the title is? Finally exposes how her stepfather who crossed the line. Finally exposes. Okay, right, let me just get it up. I did shorten it a bit.
Affection. It was during these private encounters.
Right, okay, guys. Let me just go back to it. Now, this is a bloody good video, guys. When I found it, I was like, wow. Let me just make sure it's the right one. Okay, are we ready, guys? Now, it does take about 15 minutes. Now, Celebify, thank you very much. We're going to play your video. Please subscribe to him.
The story we've all known about Lisa Marie Presley's life is only a fraction of the truth. A polished surface that conceals an even darker reality. What if her childhood held secrets so shocking, so painful, that they could forever change the way we view the Presley family? Today we delve into the harrowing details laid bare by Lisa Marie herself, as her memoir pulls back the curtain on an unsettling chapter in her life. Stay tuned as we unravel this shocking narrative that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about Lisa Marie and her famous mother. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more incredible stories about the king of rock and roll and his family.
Hi, Catherine.
6. Setting the stage. Lisa Marie Presley's memoir is more than just a glimpse into the life of rock and roll royalty. It's a raw, unfiltered account that peels back the layers of glamour to reveal a much darker story. This isn't the Lisa Marie that the world saw on stage or in interviews. Instead, it's a Lisa Marie who endured a turbulent childhood that shaped her in ways most people could never imagine. Her memoir doesn't shy away from the gritty, uncomfortable truths. It boldly exposes moments that would make any reader pause, as she recounts her struggle to reconcile her love for her mother with the painful reality of what she experienced behind closed doors. Through her words, we glimpse the emotional scars that only she could bear, and each page reveals a piece of the trauma that's long been hidden from public view. Central to these revelations are the disturbing accounts involving her stepfather, Michael Edwards. In the memoir, Lisa Marie pulls no punches as she describes the man who played a significant role in her life during her formative years. But perhaps what's even more shocking is the role her mother, Priscilla Presley, allegedly played. For years, fans saw Priscilla as the doting mother who carried on Elvis's legacy with grace and poise. Yet Lisa Marie's words paint a very different picture. She portrays a mother who, instead of protecting her daughter, may have turned a blind eye, or worse, allowed a predator to stay close. These accusations are damning, raising questions that cast a long shadow over the Presley legacy, especially when it comes to Priscilla's choices, the consequences they had for her young daughter. Just as readers think they've grasped the extent of Lisa Marie's suffering, she takes us deeper into her memories, recounting more chilling episodes that involve both Edwards and Priscilla. What could drive a mother to allegedly make such choices? And how did this impact Lisa Marie's own sense of trust and security? In the next section, we'll delve into a pivotal moment from her childhood that serves as a haunting reminder of how vulnerable she truly was, and how, despite everything, she tried to shield herself from the emotional chaos around her. 5. Lisa's life at home. Lisa Marie Presley's childhood home was far from the safe haven it should have been. Instead, it was a place filled with tension, confusion, and a gnawing sense of dread that permeated her everyday life. In her memoir, Lisa Marie recounts how the presence of her stepfather, Michael Edwards, became a source of constant unease. Although he was supposed to be a parental figure, the role he played was anything but comforting. He brought a darkness into her life that she was too young to fully understand, yet old enough to feel its suffocating weight. Behind the walls of their home, Lisa Marie witnessed behaviors that were far from normal, often catching glimpses of Edward's volatile temper and unsettling actions that made her feel like a prisoner in her own home. The emotional toll on young Lisa Marie was profound. She describes feeling trapped in a cycle of fear, unable to escape the disturbing dynamics that unfolded day after day. Even as a child, she sensed that Edward's actions crossed boundaries, yet she felt powerless to stop him. Her own mother, Priscilla, whom she should have been able to trust implicitly, seemed oblivious, or worse, indifferent, to the mounting distress her daughter was enduring. The silence was deafening. Priscilla's lack of intervention left Lisa Marie feeling isolated and betrayed, fostering a resentment that would linger for years. The very person who was supposed to protect her seemed to be either turning a blind eye or, shockingly, enabling the behavior that was causing her so much harm. And yet, as disturbing...
So guys, it's a pretty tough watch, this is. The pictures are amazing. How these people found all these pictures, I will never know. There are loads of very rare photos, but this part of the video is very clearly blaming Priscilla for ignoring what was happening. He uses the word enabling, and it's true, because okay, Michael Edwards is a sick, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, alleged sick person. Yeah, completely out of order, disgusting. But he could only have done to Lisa what he did, allegedly, if Priscilla allowed him in her world. If Priscilla allowed Michael Edwards, don't forget it was Priscilla's boyfriend. Yeah, they've been together for years. She had picked up that his behavior towards Lisa was odd, was weird. Lisa did get unusual attention because of the fact that she was Elvis's daughter, but it was Priscilla that let that man stay and live around Lisa Marie, even leaving him alone with her for weeks on end. Yeah. So Priscilla, I personally believe, I'm not trying to stir hate here against Priscilla. That's not what we do. I'm trying to expose the truth. But in my opinion, Priscilla is as guilty as Michael Edwards. Now, I know these allegations still to be proven, so we have to say it's for entertainment purposes and just opinions. But in my mind, they are both equally to blame for the disgusting things that happened to poor Lisa Marie Presley. And we all know that the knock-on effect, yeah, of Michael Edwards' alleged behavior literally ruined Lisa's life. And she really has lived a lie. There's a few times she did try and say it. We know Michael Edwards admitted it in his book. But she has had to keep this quiet, Lisa Marie. And now we understand why she was a troubled teenager, a troubled child. Priscilla has often brought up the fact that Lisa Marie took drugs, alcohol, was a rebellious child that chased after the boys. But why? Why was Lisa Marie like that at such a young age, 10, 11, 12, 13. And now we know why, because allegedly she was being abused. So when Priscilla sits on the stage at Graceland's, at the Riley Keough book signing event at Graceland's in Memphis, and she's there trying to portray her own daughter in a very negative light, trying to play the victim. Priscilla's trying to be the victim. We now know why, because of this alleged behavior from Michael Edwards, but Priscilla is the enabler because she allowed him into the world of Lisa Marie Presley. So they're equally to blame. If it is true, and I believe Lisa Marie, but it is alleged, they both should be investigated and punished. We need justice for Lisa Marie Presley. We need justice for Lisa Marie Presley.
As this is, Lisa Marie's account hints at even more sinister details lurking beneath the surface. She refrains from revealing everything at once, instead building a slow-burning tension that leaves readers with more questions than answers. What was it about Edwards that captivated Priscilla, enough for her to allegedly overlook the well-being of her own daughter? As we move forward, Lisa Marie sheds light on a specific night that encapsulates the darkness she lived through. A night that, once described, leaves no room for doubt about the emotional and psychological scars she would carry. Stay tuned as we uncover this pivotal moment, where Lisa Marie's childhood innocence collided head-on with a reality too harsh for any young girl to face. 4. The first red flag. One evening, what should have been a simple family dinner turned into a harrowing memory that would haunt Lisa Marie for years to come. She recounts a moment when her stepfather, Michael Edwards, erupted with an anger so intense it left her paralyzed with fear. In a fit of rage, he hurled his plate across the room, shattering the illusion of normalcy in their household. Lisa Marie's mind raced as she tried to make sense of the sudden violence. But what frightened her even more was her mother's reaction. Rather than stepping in to protect her intense, it left her.
Look, guys, that just makes things worse. Not only was he allegedly a sicko, yeah, he was also violent. This was a violent, angry man, yeah. Again, why is Priscilla allowing this man to live in the family home? It's disgusting. And she sits. It really bugs me now that we had to sit there. I don't know how many of you have watched the Graceland book signing with Riley Keough, but I tell you now, guys, it's uncomfortable to watch. She literally sits there and spends the second half of the whole of the book signing event trying to portray herself as a victim and belittle her own daughter in front of her own daughter's mother. Yeah, disgusting, guys.
Paralyzed with fear. In a fit of rage, he hurled his plate across the room, shattering the illusion of normalcy in their household. Lisa Marie's mind raced as she tried to make sense of the sudden violence. But what frightened her even more was her mother's reaction. Rather than stepping in to protect her daughter or confront Edwards, Priscilla seemed to let it slide, as though this kind of behavior was somehow acceptable. The silence that followed was deafening, leaving young Lisa Marie with an unsettling feeling that something was very wrong. Yet as unsettling as that dinner had been, it was what happened later that night that truly marked a turning point in Lisa Marie's understanding of her stepfather's character. While the broken plate could have been dismissed as a one-time loss of control, the events that unfolded behind closed doors hinted at a much deeper, more disturbing pattern of behavior. Lisa Marie describes how Edwards would find his way to her room under the guise of parental concern, yet his actions betrayed anything but fatherly affection. It was during these private encounters that Lisa Marie began to fully grasp the danger she was in. She knew instinctively that Edwards had crossed a line, yet she felt trapped, with nowhere to turn and no one to trust. The realization was devastating, but perhaps what cut the deepest was the absence of her mother's support. Lisa Marie paints a haunting picture of a child who longed for her mother's protection, only to be met with indifference. Instead of confronting Edwards or removing Lisa Marie paints it.
So do you hear that? I have to butt into that. It's a bit heart-wrenching, guys. I know some of this footage is quite upsetting, guys. If it brings out some bad memories, I apologize. But I feel that we have to face this. Look at that picture. Yeah? She longed for her mother's affection. Let's go a bit closer. She longed for her mother's affection. With that, I tell you what, that is just so upsetting. Now, you imagine being Lisa Marie at that age, 10, 11, 12, yeah? Now, could you imagine how unsafe and scared poor Lisa Marie felt, knowing that Michael Edwards allegedly, I have to keep saying allegedly, could walk into her room at any time, could be violent towards her mother at any time, knowing that she can't tell her mum to help her because the mum didn't believe her. The mum was too scared to lose her boyfriend. Priscilla was too scared to lose her boyfriend. She would rather risk the fact that Michael Edwards may abuse her own daughter. She'd rather take that chance than lose him. And she stayed with him for 7 years. 7 years. Why isn't the whole world talking about this to Priscilla? Why isn't the authorities, the police, the people that matter saying this to Priscilla? How can Priscilla sit in the book signing event, smiling and giggling and laughing? Her poor daughter had only died in 2013 in January, and she sat there giggling and laughing at the fact that Lisa Marie was naughty or had a drink or took drugs or chased after boys or was a rebellious child. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. After these things that were written in this book, remember, Riley Q allowed these things to be included in the book. Riley Q wanted these things in the book and in the audiobook. This book is a massive bestseller around the world. The whole world knows about these allegations. The whole world know that Priscilla stood by and allowed these things to happen. Yeah? Everyone should be going mad. Why is it that just the Elvis fans are up in arms about this, are disgusted by this alleged behavior from Priscilla and Michael Edwards? Yeah? We, the fans, we defend Elvis. We defend Lisa Marie. We defend the bloodline. We're screaming our heads off. Yeah? What's happening? Even now, if you look at the news, it's old news. It's only been a week or so. And already this alleged abuse behavior from Michael Edwards and obviously Priscilla, who stood by and allowed it to happen, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, it's almost starting to be forgotten already. Why isn't there a news announcement? Why isn't there breaking news? Breaking news. Michael Edwards has been arrested. Breaking news. Priscilla is being investigated. This is what we want as fans. Even the general public, come on, guys. Even the non-Elvis fans must be thinking, this is just wrong. This is just wrong. A girl that was being abused from the age of 10, 11, we don't know the actual age, did tapes of her abuse, breaking down in detail the actual abuse that happened in tapes. Then her daughter, Riley Q, has turned the tapes into evidence, basically, turned the tapes into a book, put it together, done a brilliant job. It's become a worldwide bestseller, and it's already starting to be forgotten news. It ain't right, guys. It ain't right. Something is wrong. Let's keep playing.
A haunting picture of a child who longed for her mother's protection, only to be met with indifference. Instead of confronting Edwards or removing him from their lives, Priscilla seemed to stand by, watching as her daughter's sense of security was shattered. But this was only the beginning. As Lisa Marie's story unfolds, she reveals that this first red flag was merely a hint of the nightmare that lay ahead. What more could this young girl endure? And how far would Edwards go before someone stepped in? As we dive deeper, we'll uncover another night, even darker than this one, that would leave an indelible mark on Lisa Marie's soul and forever change the way she viewed her mother. The midway shocking twist. As Lisa Marie matured, the troubling behaviors of her stepfather only grew more complex and sinister, weaving a web of manipulation that ensnared her at every turn. In her memoir, she shares glimpses of these encounters, revealing a man who seemed to wield control over her in ways that went beyond the physical. Each new recollection paints a picture of a predator who carefully calculated his actions, choosing moments when he knew Lisa would be most vulnerable and when her mother, Priscilla, would be just out of reach. What's particularly chilling is the gradual realization that these weren't isolated incidents. This pattern of manipulation was a constant shadow in her life, stretching across years. Edwards wasn't just a stepfather, he became a dark presence that lingered in her memories, each encounter reinforcing the sense that something truly vile was unfolding. But perhaps the most heart-wrenching revelation in Lisa Marie's account is the fact that Priscilla, the one person who should have been her fiercest protector, was not blind to what was happening. According to Lisa, her mother's awareness went beyond mere suspicion. Priscilla allegedly knew. There were moments when Edward's actions were so overt that they could not be brushed aside. Yet Lisa recalls how her mother seemed to turn away, either unwilling or unable to confront the grim reality of what was taking place in their home. This knowledge weighed heavily on Lisa Marie, compounding the betrayal she felt as she navigated the nightmare alone. The sense of abandonment was profound, adding layers to the trauma that would follow her for years to come. Lisa's words drip with the anguish of someone who endured far more than most could ever imagine. And yet she stops short of detailing every instance, choosing instead to let the implications hang heavily in the air. The full extent of Edward's actions remains veiled, but the hints she provides are enough to convey the magnitude of her suffering. What other horrors did she experience? And what price did she pay for Priscilla's alleged silence? As we delve further into her story, we will uncover the depths of her despair and the shocking lengths she went to in order to cope. The next chapter of her memoir reveals a moment so stark, so searing, that it forces us to confront the question, how much more could a young Lisa Marie endure before the truth would finally come to light? 2. The shocking revelation. As Lisa Marie bravely laid out in her memoir, the harrowing truth of her teenage years is almost too painful to fathom. Edwards, the man she was forced to call her stepfather, allegedly crossed unforgivable lines, shattering the innocence of a young girl who was only beginning to understand the world around her. The encounters she describes are chilling, painting a picture of a man who abused his position of trust in the most appalling ways. What makes these revelations even more tragic is the fact that, according to Lisa Marie, her cries for help went unanswered. She recounts moments where she turned to her mother, desperate for protection, only to find that the person who should have been her fiercest advocate seemed to turn a blind eye.
Terrible.
Despite the gut-wrenching accounts of what happened, Lisa Marie explains that Priscilla's inaction felt like a second betrayal.
Oh,
Each time she gathered the courage to confide in her mother, she was met with silence or hollow reassurances. Lisa Marie's words reflect the agony of realizing that her mother wasn't just unaware, she was allegedly complicit. Whether it was denial or something more complicated, Priscilla's unwillingness to remove Edwards from their lives left Lisa Marie to fend for herself in a world that had become increasingly dangerous. This sense of...
you hear that? Left Lisa Marie to fend for herself in a world. Oh, I tell you what, guys, it's just sickening. I'm so angry. I wish I could reach into that world of Lisa Marie and protect her from what we know, in our opinions, from the book, from Lisa's own words on her tapes. We can't jump into that world of Lisa Marie. you know, living with her mother, who basically was not listening, was probably too infatuated and in love with Michael Edwards to do anything. Yeah. So could you imagine how powerless and helpless that poor girl was? So even now, when I watch the interviews that go way back to the night, you know, the late 80s, the 90s, now I see them completely differently, because now that we know what happened, now we know what went on, based on Lisa Marie's own words on her tapes in her book that Riley Keough has released. Every single interview that I see with Lisa Marie in it feels different, because now, instead of just seeing a troubled teenager that is pretty typical of teenagers, yeah, they go through a crazy period. My kids have done it, yeah. I now see behind her eyes, behind the smile, behind the laughter, is a damaged girl who is hiding the fact that she allegedly was abused by a violent man, while the mother stood back and who didn't have the strength to kick him out, get him away, protect her daughter. It's just, the whole thing is crazy.
Abandonment left scars that ran deeper than any physical harm could. Lisa's accounts reveal a girl who was not only victimized by Edwards, but also by the silence and seeming indifference of her mother, compounding the trauma with each passing day. The most horrifying realization comes from understanding that this wasn't an isolated incident, but rather a pattern that spanned years. Lisa Marie describes how she was left to navigate this dark reality alone, forced to endure Edward's abuse while trying to reconcile the painful truth about her mother's choices. How could Priscilla, who knew so well the challenges of a public life, allow this to continue in the shadows? As we turn the page to the next section, Lisa Marie's story becomes even more intense, revealing the devastating impact this chapter of her life had on her future relationships and sense of self. But what else did she have to endure? The next part of her memoir delves into how she managed to survive these years and the hidden strength that would eventually help her confront her past. 1. Emotional climax. The trauma that Lisa Marie endured during her formative years cast a long shadow over her life, one that fans would eventually see reflected in her public persona. While the world marveled at her famous last name and the legacy she carried, few could truly grasp the pain that lay behind her eyes. Her memoir reveals a young girl who, instead of being protected and cherished, was left to grapple with the profound betrayal of those closest to her. The emotional wounds from those years ran deep, shaping her in ways that would influence everything from her relationships to her career choices. She grew up with a sense of isolation and mistrust, as the very people who should have shielded her from harm had instead allowed it to invade her life. As Lisa Marie transitioned into adulthood, the effects of her childhood experiences became more apparent. She describes a lingering sense of insecurity and a struggle to form lasting connections, as the pain of her past often resurfaced, leaving her feeling raw and exposed. In public appearances, fans noticed a certain guardedness about her, an emotional distance that hinted at the scars she carried beneath the surface. In her own words, Lisa Marie conveys the haunting loneliness of living a life under constant scrutiny, yet feeling as though no one truly understood the turmoil within. Her relationships, too, were marked by this struggle, as she found herself caught in a cycle of seeking love and acceptance, only to push it away when it drew too close to her heart. Yet through all the darkness, Lisa Marie's story is one of resilience. She writes candidly about the ways she attempted to cope with her pain, searching for solace in a world that seemed intent on misunderstanding her. Despite the scars, she found a way to carve out her own path, one defined not by the hurt inflicted upon her, but by her ability to confront it. Her memoir reveals a woman who, despite the betrayals and heartbreak, sought to reclaim her narrative and find peace amidst the chaos. And as her story continues, we see the beginnings of a journey toward healing, a path that would not be easy, but one that speaks to her enduring strength. Now it's your turn to reflect on her journey and the heartbreaking revelations Lisa Marie shared. What are your thoughts on the choices that shaped her life? Do you believe there was a way?
So I just want to give the YouTube channel a big shout. They're called Celebify, Celebify. I want to, if I use somebody else's work, I always like to promote their channel, make sure they get a load of subscribers. So I've just typed it in. So please, let me just get it to focus. Please subscribe to this channel, Celebify. And Celebify, thank you so much for creating this brilliant footage. And the way you've narrated it is fantastic. And the pictures that you've put together, I am very, very impressed with that. And guys, did you like that video? Did you like, because I tell you now, when I watched it tonight, I was blown away. Oh, thank you, Angel Eyes. But when let's help this, I know they've already got a load of subscribers, but they deserve many more, because the amount of work that has gone in to that is amazing. That must have took days to do. The pictures that they've managed to find are brilliant. Like, I don't think I could have found pictures as good as that. That is as good as it's get. That is one of the best videos I've ever watched. Such a touching moment, because obviously the book hasn't even been out long, has it, guys? Is it even been a week? I don't even know. Now, the Elvis world is rocked, isn't it? It's rocked by these allegations and the fact that Priscilla just stood by. And there's many more things that we are going to discuss with this book. Many more things. I'm not rushing, because I know that many other channels are doing reviews and reading each chapter. So I'm in no rush. I'm going to take my time and go through this book at my leisure with you guys, Team Elvis. But when I watched that video, I had to show you guys. In fact, both videos, even the lady with the tarot cards, I had to show you that video, because it's like she's a mind reader. It's like she's got a second sense. Like, she just gets it right. She's spot on. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to be able to hang on. This is much later than normal for me in the UK. It's quite late. I need to go to bed. I'll be back in the morning. So please subscribe. Obviously, the usual, if you like, hit the super thank you button, send us a coffee, or any kind of thanks is good. Become a member or subscribe, and any appreciation is welcome. But I tell you what, guys, that is shocking. That is tough. That is I've had a tough time sitting here and watching that. But I really, when I watched it, I really wanted to share it with you guys straight away. I could have waited until the morning, but no, I was so upset and emotionally reacted to that video. I wanted to do a live straight away and get it out to you guys. Team Elvis, we're a family, and it was like we had to share that. We had to share that, because it really gave us a sense of how Lisa Marie felt, what Lisa Marie went through, but also what Priscilla Presley has got away with. I repeat, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, what Priscilla Presley has got away with. Because at the moment, she's got away with murder. And so, in my opinion, has Michael Edwards. Now, it's all alleged. Everything is alleged. Nothing proven. But I tell you what, guys, I really do hope that the right people start asking the right questions. I know that Riley Q at the moment is relying on the book to do the talking. There's probably legal reasons. So I think Riley's way of getting the information out there is by just really promoting this book vigorously, which she is. She's doing 5 to 10 events a day, news clips, radio clips, promoting this book. She purposely made sure that the allegations of Michael Edwards and Priscilla's wrongdoing are in this book. So she wanted it out there. Riley Q wanted and wants the world to know, the fans to know, the authorities to know, the police to know. Otherwise, she wouldn't have put it in there. She would not have kept these details in this book and then vigorously promoted the book, and still is, unless she wants the world to know and the fans to know. So I think Riley Keough will come good. So I do think we need to support Riley Keough. We need to support the twins. Of course, Elvis, Lisa Marie, and Benjamin, of course. Yeah. So we've got their back. Yeah. We're going to shout as loud as we can until we are heard. Okay, Team Elvis? So we do this together as a family. Defending Elvis, fans want the truth. That's us together. Team Elvis taking care of business. Okay? Quite a serious live stream, but thanks for joining me. Thank you for coming into my kitchen in Southwest UK. The name's Louis. If you don't know who I am, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Take care, guys. We're out of here. I'll give you all a wave. I'll read your comments. Love to all of you. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.